welcome my guest, Kevin Holmes, who is the president and founder and Tri-State Trucking. And Kevin, in the earlier segment, we were talking with Ed Manzi from Fidelity Bank, and a piece of his, responsibilities is trying to build that future workforce. And one of the things that I talk about with policymakers and others is the single biggest issue that I hear from our members, regardless of the sector or the size of the company. It's workforce pipeline and the skills gap. That's something you've worked on and been all about. But before we get into that, because you've been, I think, a leader and a model for companies.
Thank you.
Can you just maybe tell our viewers a little bit about your company and why it's so important?
Surely. Well, interesting enough, I think that Ed discussing their 1800 birth, actually our birth was back in the early 80s, literally in a service station, 2 employees to 140 today. So our growth has been somewhat similar, and more importantly though, we are located in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. We sit on a 25-acre campus there, about a 60,000 square foot facility, and as I said, employing about 140 local people. However, to your point, you're very much right on the mark. Our biggest challenge today is skilled labor, and we're doing, our people, our parts people, our service people, our sales people, they must be certified and trained. So we are obviously always working on finding ways that we bring new training and certification for those people. Our operations run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in Shrewsbury. Unlike many of the other dealers, we are a representative of Daimler Trucks North America, the largest commercial vehicle manufacturer in the world, representing Freightliner, Western Star, and Autocar trucks. And unique to our operation, we also have on-site operations that go out to our customers' locations, whether it be 1 truck or it be 200 truck fleets, and provide on-site maintenance and warranty repairs right at their locations, eliminating the cost of labor and liability of them transporting products back and forth to us. We go to them. We do the same thing with our parts delivery each and every day. 15 trucks go out every day delivering parts. We like to, we don't want to use the name, but maybe be the Amazon of truck parts in the future. Yeah. So, but give you a little bit of an idea of what we do in the local area as far as our business.
And so, mechanics, technicians, delivery, all the things that require and vehicle maintenance and repairs are increasingly complex. So you need to have people, because your customers depend on it. Those trucks have deliveries that need to get to places on time, so critically important.
Well, I think what's interesting, Tim, is some people, and as I also mentioned earlier, I sit on the ATD board, which is American Truck Dealers. And we do, on the legislative side, we visit Capitol Hill once a year. We have a dealer fly-in. And when we go to visit some of the people there, and we talk about the transportation industry, and we mention that 7.3 million people are actually work to support the transportation industry and are within the transportation industry, they kind of look at you a bit strange because they don't realize the impact that we have. Furthermore, when we talk about impact, we talk about what would this, what would it look like if trucks stopped? And within 24 hours, we could obviously have interruptions to hospitals, supplies to hospitals. Within 2 to 3 days, we could have ATMs running out of money and banks not being able to process. Mm-hmm. To take it even further, within 30 days, it could be life-sustaining. So transportation, as we always say, and I think it's interesting that anything within this studio, anything that houses, for example, a house that's built today, it takes 5 trucks to deliver the products, whether it be the cement, whether it be the lumber. It takes 5 trucks to build that home. So again,
and as you mentioned, you kind of jokingly referred to Amazon, but as people online order things, trucks play a big role in kind of getting those things to people in places in a timely sense of distribution centers and smaller trucks. And I saw a map, that talked about each state, what was the single biggest occupation in the overwhelming number of states, the single biggest occupation was truck driver.
Yes. And today we obviously we're about 100,000 drivers short. So again, that still plays into the skilled labor portion. So what we're doing at Tri-State is obviously we've started our own training curriculum. We have our own state-of-the-art training facility. And how that all came to be was as the industry, or as an industry, or the skilled labor piece of the industry, we've lost about 10 years. And that's going to be very difficult to make up. You know, years ago, you were able to attract technicians from other dealerships. We don't do that today. Fortunately, we have a very good working relationship with the local dealers. And the people that are there, they're going to stay. They're happy. Normally, people don't move unless they're unhappy. However, so we need to grow our own. And what we do is we bring students in with their families, and we have If Truck Stopped right on our training facility walls. Mm-hmm. And we show the parents the impact that their future son or daughter could have in the transportation industry and within our dealership. As a matter of fact, we're very proud to say that our first female technician is working on our floor today. So that's, again, exciting to see. You don't see the females involved within the industry much as a technician.
You know, and you mentioned kind of your campus. I mean, having had a chance to come out and visit, I mean, you do lots of different things there, but the kind of the training and the facility and the whole, you know, it is kind of like that technical campus, if you will, and you've really worked hard in your team to do that outreach and meaningful careers that pay well. I mean, there may be a perception by some people or parents that, well, you know, these aren't jobs that pay well. I mean, they pay well, and you've got people that can move up the ladder.
Well, interesting enough, and I'll, again, when I sit in different focus groups, and I was at Cummins Engine Company in Indianapolis, Indiana, not long ago, a couple of weeks ago, and we were presenting the dealer attitude survey, and I was sitting around a table with some engineers and many college-educated people, and you know, I'm proud to say, quite frankly, Tim, brought up in Rosendale, Irish Catholic family, you know, 12 years of parochial and Catholic memorial, but my focus was on entrepreneurship, and I did not go to college. So for the students that believe that you have to have a college education in order to better yourself, I will say that that's the first message that I say to every student, whether you know, they're at our dealership or whether I'm speaking to them, that this industry does not require a college education. What it requires is a student that's motivated, that actually wants to make a difference in this world, and the industry can do that for them, and it can do it for us. So the opportunities, you know, here for technicians, they can be very lucrative. I am proud to say that in the 30 years of our organization, we have never had a layoff, and I make sure that I project that to our future technicians, because that is important. Many people today, you know, they do have a college degree, but they're not working within their field, and quite frankly, the debt that they are, you know, that they.
Well, you mentioned, you know, the debt and, you know, the stymieing effect that's had on the economy, but you know, your involvement and kind of workforce training path gives people that opportunity to earn and learn. They can work, have a great job, you know, meaningful career, and if they want to go back, they can afford it at night and kind of tackle it incrementally without all the debt burden.
Absolutely, but it takes vision, it takes leadership, and I applaud you for actually sitting with us and early adopting our message and really realizing that there is a true need for skilled labor in our local community, and we want to obviously support the local community.
And I want to just give you a chance to talk a little bit about a program that you've been intimately involved with. You know, the Chamber and in my previous roles, been very focused on how do we expand access to our voc tech schools, because we've got waiting lists across the state. But you've played a role in an expansion of a voc tech program with the former principal of South High, who's now the superintendent, creating a Chapter 74 diesel tech training program. Maybe you could just talk a little bit about that.
Sure, love to. Early adopters, as I said to you, the Chamber being one of them, Jeff Turgeon being another from Central Mass Workforce, again, allowing us to put together and be awarded a state grant for funding the training facility and training center. Maureen, again, another big advocate, and working with South High. South High, I'll be honest with you, Tim, literally had 2 bays that they needed, they said, what do we do with this and how do we do it? Well, we embrace that because we see that, again, there are people that want to become part of this industry, but either can't afford to or don't have the, as you say, the ability to do so through facilities. So our collaboration with South High, we have provided some of the curriculum. We sit on the board there. We actually just provided their first truck. So we donated their first truck coming from Advantage Truck Leasing and Tri-State Truck Center. So they're working on a real product, a sophisticated product, and some of the other technical schools, unfortunately do not have that ability. They're working on aged equipment that quite frankly does not help the student. So we're really excited about that, and what we're doing is working in partnership with them with their pre-apprenticeship program, and then we bring them into the training facility from South, and actually we have our first 5 students that are presently part of that program today. So
Meaningful careers, and I think that what you've been a part of is increasingly going to be the direction in which state and federal funding is going to be aligned, which is something we've been an advocate for. Making sure that job training funds, partnerships, which are so essential, go to sectors of the economy where there's opportunity and need. So we're excited about that. We just got a minute or 2 left. You see clearly very focused on workforce, skills gap. Where else do you see in terms of the industry in just a minute or so we have? Where do you see it going?
This industry will become more sophisticated. As mentioned earlier, you think about the regionalization of the business, okay? We need to get drivers home more often. So what we're doing, what's happening within the transportation industries, the large companies, they're bringing local hubs here, so it becomes more efficient for transportation. It becomes more effective for the drivers. It attracts drivers. Again, as I said to our students, we just had a group in from South High last week on a class trip. They walked into the facility and they said, I asked them, what's the one thing that stands out between Tri-State and other facilities that you visited? And they said the cleanliness. And I said, yes, and I'm glad you noticed that because it is important. And I said, you as professionals that walk into this dealership every day working on $200,000 pieces of equipment, we all need to be professionals. Right. And I guess if you're asking one question, what is it all about? It's about professionalism. You talked about partnership, partnerships with local organizations such as the Chamber, and keeping that vision alive and visible for our young people today and in the future. And again, being a disposable community, economic group. Again, it's difficult to have people really look at our business because it's not the Google, okay? However, it will be, and it will be in the future, and there's just a tremendous opportunity for these young individuals in the future.